In this exercise we're having a look at creating raindrops, and right at the end there's a little bonus, creating teardrops in Affinity version 3.1. So set up a blank document and use the default preset of 4R, and you can use pixel or vector for this in 3.1, and I'm doing this as a slideshow so you can take your time and study the different parts that need to be taken care of rather than rush through in a straight "this is how you do it" video. So place a background image for water drops to be placed on. So we've got a leaf and we're going to put some water drops on that, a raindrop on that leaf. Lock the layer so you can't accidentally move or delete or do something untoward with that layer. Now pick up the ellipse tool and create an ellipse with a 2-point border. Now you can see the ellipse tool down there just above the letter T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 from the bottom there on the left hand side. That's on my tool set. You may have yours arranged differently. Now up the top you can see in the bar along the top, you click on that little brush stroke next to the word 2-point and it brings up that menu. So you can set the width to 2-point. It defaults to the 0 with the X in the middle, but you click on the little stroke and then you can change it to 2-point. And that sets the width, as you can see in the image, and it's quite large there. Now obviously we're going to modify this, so don't panic too much. Fill the ellipse with black. Now there's a strange looking teardrop, strange looking raindrop. Select the ellipse, then the transparency tool, and select the type elliptical. Now you can see the transparency tool there. You may have to find it in your menu options. That's the 3 dots down the bottom. Click on that and go find the transparency tool if it's not showing on your toolbar. Now I'm in pixel mode. You can do this in Designer, but pixel mode's fine. And in pixel mode you might have to enable the transparency tool because I don't think it's on by default. Now select the outer point of the slider that comes up when you select the elliptical type transparency tool. The slider will come up with 2 points, the center and the 2 outer points. Select the outer point of the slider, that's the one at the top there, and set the opacity to 100%. Now select the central point, you can see the yellow circle around there, and set the opacity to 0%. And you can see it becomes quite transparent in the middle there. Move the slider out to adjust the transparency. Now I've moved the slider, that little central slider on the horizontal line, right out to the right hand side. Drag that out with your mouse. Draw another ellipse inside the first one but slightly offset. Now this ellipse will come up black just like the first one did. Remove the outline from the ellipse. So you go up to the top and set the width to 0 point so that there's no line drawn around that ellipse. Fill the second ellipse with white, so you just change it from black to white. Select the transparency tool and this time apply a linear transparency. And you can see it there. I've got the top bar and the bottom bars almost central in the ellipse, and it's linear type. Copy and paste the second ellipse, then flip it vertically. So that second little ellipse you created, copy it and paste it, and then flip it vertically. Now there it is, flipped vertically. You can see in the layers panel the 2 separate ellipses there. One's facing down, one's facing up. Still with 0 point outline. Apply the blend mode overlay to the copied ellipse. So go to your blend modes, which are down the bottom there. No, sorry, up the top there, top of the layer panel, and change it from normal to overlay. There we are. And you can see on the right hand side that layer is now in overlay mode. Shrink the copied circle just a little. Well, it's an ellipse actually, so just shrink it a little bit, not much. Create and duplicate another copy and shrink it to a droplet, so make it a lot smaller. You can see what's happening there. We've now got 3 ellipses, one's a tiny one. Remove the transparency from this small ellipse. So you go up to the top there, type none. And it changes to a whitish yellow colour in this case. Add some Gaussian blur. I'd suggest around 47 pixels to this ellipse. It almost disappears, but not quite. Select the outer ellipse and remove the outline. The outer ellipse, of course, is the big one, so set its outline to 0. And apply an outer shadow to the outer ellipse using the numbers shown. Now, this is a kind of see how it goes. You might have a different leaf, you might have a different droplet. You have to gauge this by your own eyesight. But anyway, you can see you've got a drop shadow there, a slightly outer shadow, and the numbers shown are here. It's a pillow type, and you can modify that. Radius of 25.8, soften it by 29 pixels. It's facing downwards. The azimuth is minus 90 degrees. Shadows multiply, blend mode multiply, and the opacity about 50%. Create a copy of the small white blurred ellipse and paste and rotate it. So now you've got another ellipse that's almost on the end of the raindrop. Repeat for the other end. And convert it to curves. Convert the object not to an artboard but to curves. You don't want an artboard in there, that's the last thing you want. So somehow or other I've got the wrong drop down menu in there, but never mind. Don't convert the object to an artboard, you're there to convert it to curves. Select the node tool and bend the ellipse into shape. So you're going to bend that ellipse to follow the shape of the main ellipse, the main outline of the raindrop. Repeat for the other end. Do the same thing up the other end. Now adjust the opacity for the outer shadow and blend mode multiply. There we go. The outer shadow is about 25% and the blend mode is set to multiply. And you can see over the right hand side in the layers panel which object is selected and changed. From this point on, begin to adjust your shapes and effects. So you can tell by your own eyesight, your own monitor, what you're dealing with there and adjust it for your own effects. Group all the layers except for the leaf and resize and reposition. So with all of those raindrops in one group, you can then move and resize it to your heart's content without adjusting the leaf. Now you can see I've got it much smaller and sitting on the leaf a little higher. Now your raindrop is ready. Replicate it and resize it as you like. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can make lots of little small ones by copying it. Now that's it finished. Now the next thing I'd like to quickly run through is much the same, but it's teardrops in this case. And we're using the tear shape instead of the ellipse. Now I've put that teardrop a straight up white teardrop on the face of the model there in the photo. Create a suitable size teardrop. And that's obviously way too big, but I need it large so I can emphasize what I'm doing, because when you're finished, remember, you can group it and shrink it to size. Select the transparency tool and type elliptical. Adjust the line and the opacity. Draw another tear inside the first one. Remove the outline and set the inner tear to white. Select a linear type in the transparency tool and adjust it to suit. Apply blend mode overlay and shrink the teardrop slightly. Duplicate the second teardrop and apply a 47-point Gaussian blur. You can see how similar to the raindrop this really is. Apply an outer shadow to the outer ellipse, and from this point begin to adjust your shape and opacity. As before, group the shapes and adjust the size as needed. And it's finished. Now you'll do a much better job of that, I'm sure, because that tear looks a little bit odd, but that's an exercise for you to perform. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button to give it a thumbs up, and tell all your friends. Share it around. You'll find the images I've used here are in the stock studio, so you can go look for them there, or you can use your own. Okay, see you in the next video.